Well, hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Radio Entrepreneurs. My name again is Jeffrey Davis. I'm the host of the show. But yes, I do have another life, a main life. My name is Jeffrey Davis, CEO and founder of MAGE LLC management consulting firm since 1985, 700 leaders of organizations. What do you think of that, Walter?
I am impressed with you every time I meet you.
Yeah.
And I just met you again.
And the bar is low, isn't it?
No, the bar's high with you, Jeffrey. I mean, amazing the companies
Hi?
that you have
We
helped.
must be doing the In the Weeds show.
We are always doing In the Weeds show, whether we're here or somewhere else.
Well, our next guest, someone they had to tell us to turn the mics on because I liked him so much before. He's got the green on. He's got the whole Scottish thing going all the way. So Ian McNeil.
Doesn't have the hat on, though.
He doesn't need that.
No
He's got
tan,
hair.
yeah.
He's got hair. Ian McNeil, Principal, Standish Executive Search. Wow. What are you going to find for us?
Thanks for having me. I'm gonna
Don't speak so soon.
You know, it's
The day is
young.
just starting for us. Young.
right.
Yeah.
No, you're in the twilight here, so I'm starting out. I think that one of the things, as I'm the new guy at Standish, and just joined about a month and a half ago, although I work for a global executive search firm. One of the things that we're looking for finding in the cannabis industry is, my background is very much in the wine industry in California.
Oh, perfect.
My wife and I moved from Sonoma County to New Hampshire for family reasons and others, but
Witness Protection Program?
and that,
Okay.
yeah, is when I leave, my name changes. But we,
Used to be Schwartz, right?
that's when I put the hat on. But the real commonality and why I really love working with Stan and Kelly, the principals at Standish, is because of the ethics, the professionalism, and I happen to bring a connection to the cannabis industry from Northern California, because the wine industry, obviously there's experience there with the wine industry.
It's transferable a lot of times.
It is.
I thought that's where you were going.
Yeah, and well, I think that not only the lessons of how the wine industry grew in California, the model is rather similar. They share a lot of similarities as far as the incubation stage, viticulture.
State by
versus
state laws.
Every state is different.
Shipping
You
over
have-
state lines problems.
Roger that. And
Right.
so that's what
Don't
these...
talk, Walter.
Yeah, he's really chatty.
Yeah.
These are what the firms in New
I
England...
think you look like his wife.
She has more hair on her face, though.
Okay, so drawing the parallel...
Only kidding,
from-
Susan.
There's a divorce.
She's not watching.
We have a
or
divorce
listening.
show coming up. Don't worry.
The parallels from the folks that I know in California who run some of the largest cannabis firms in the nation, and I share information with them, and that's why I'm excited that Standish is moving into this field, because it's all about networking, and we get to know in real time here in New England what those firms are facing, what they've already faced, and the lessons they've learned.
It might be good you can grow great pot and everything like that, but if you don't know how to run a business and don't bring in business people,
Well,
you're set to fail.
I think you picked alcohol, but I think let's draw the metaphor to the restaurant industry, because it's generally the largest employer almost in every state.
Sure,
But
hospitality.
most people who go into the restaurant industry, 3 out of 4 go out of business right within the first couple of years because they think they want to serve food, but they know nothing about business.
Sure.
And I would think the cannabis business was a little bit like that. It's the wild, wild west.
It is, and that's one of my colleagues.
Even entrepreneurs who have money think, oh, I have money, I'm a successful entrepreneur doing this, I'm going to be good at that. But this is not that.
That's exactly true. And one of the colleagues that I spoke with prior to our interview today said that there are 3 kind of sections of the cannabis industry in California. One is, kind of off the cuff. You have a little bit of capital, and you're going forward without much, direction. Then you have kind of mid-range and upper range for the next 2. And capital in California for the cannabis industry is drying up. And this is,
It'll be burning up soon.
Exactly right.
Very
So
much so.
finding the right candidates, our focus at Standish is really looking to California, Colorado, Washington State. And the recommendation is to find people with a background that already know where the business has been. So as an executive search firm that specializes in the cannabis industry, we're looking that direction to find, and CFOs, pardon me, seem to be the biggest need right now.
I'm not-
Financial folks.
Only because of what we discussed before you're on the show. Have you also looked in Canada, because it's nationalized in Canada? That maybe have you looked there for recruits?
We haven't, but that's a great idea.
I would think, because I always think that what Canada's done with cannabis is sort of what they replicated in the banking industry, to let it that they incubate supersized companies and then let them come into the United States because of their power and their ability to do that, which is what they did with banks. And I've always thought that Canada's policy with cannabis was really more of a policy about acquiring American companies.
Right.
Create supersized companies so they could come here to acquire.
And so in
Don't you see that happening? The Canadian companies?
It's actually happening, but I never thought of it that
because
way.
Canada is allowing it to go national. They're doing a much better job of incubating the industry.
And you can a cannabis company can actually use the financial system in a legitimate way.
Right.
So that's a step. That
And then
we
if
need
you
to-
and if you were a Canadian company buying Americans, you'd have the access to the Canadian economic benefits.
exactly.
And that
So
you see on the
Cross
stock
border.
ex-
No different than when Burger King allowed itself to get bought by Tim Hortons, because the Canadian corporate tax system was dramatically lower than the American tax system, and it was just a tax play. It was a financial play for Burger King.
Sure. Well, I think there are phases, and so we've kind of gone around both the wine industry and its development, and the liquor industry and hospitality overall. But those are some of the profiles that we look at when we speak with our clients that are cannabis industries, and who are the best fit. So it really, someone who has a hospitality background is great. If we're looking at a CFO, someone who has experience in dealing with compliance issues and the legal issues. But
You don't have to know how to grow weed to be a good CFO.
I mean, cultivation is very important.
but if you're in the wine business, you understand that.
Yes, and it's very much the same. There's so many different sub categories. So you have the viticulturalists in the wine industry and the caniculturalists. Or is that a thing? Cannabis, the cultivators. We'll call them that.
Herbologists.
Right. I don't know if there's really a word for it. But then production, obviously packaging, retailing, distribution, all of that is important. Right now, it seems to be, again, the finance component.
I mean, I think you see in Massachusetts companies that they've had a great start, but they realize to go to that next level, they have to bring in professionals to run it.
Right.
And you've seen in the national companies today that, I won't mention their name, but have gotten rid of their CEOs, realizing, you guys have been losing money. We've been a lot of money coming in, but you really haven't done anything to grow it. And I think there's a lot of space there for people, CFOs, CEOs in other industries that can really come in and make a difference.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there, in that growth is a key component. The gentleman I spoke to you about, my colleague in California, said the pace of his job, and he's a CEO, the pace of his job is untenable. He's doing it now, and he's running it. So when we look at candidates, we have to, and companies, we have to make sure that they know that this growth is going to be significant. It's going to be fast, and you have to have a partner like Standish. You have to have a lot of partners who can build your team so that you can run at the pace.
We've been speaking with Ian Macneil, Principal Standish Executive Search, with my friend Walter Sullivan, the cannabis lawyer of choice, at least for radio entrepreneurs.
Oh, I thought I'm cannabis choice for everybody.
Well, it could be. I can't speak for everybody.
You speak for everybody,
No,
especially in the
Come on,
entrepreneur
Jerry.
industry.
well, maybe I'll take that compliment. That's probably not true though. So, Ian, if someone's looking for you and Standish Executive Search, and I can't see why they wouldn't, because this whole building of an organization, which is stuff I do, different end of your business,
Sure.
is critical to success. It's all about people. So, if they need your help, how would they find you?
Well, start with our webpage, which is standishsearch.com. And you'll find all of our team there. We have a fantastic team. I know you've spoken with our founder, Stan Davis. He's a fabulous man. I wouldn't have signed on. I couldn't have signed on to a better group of ethical and professional folks. I love them. And so standishsearch.com, and all of our information, contact information, email, all of our stuff is there. So that's a place to start. Give us a ring. And search is just a small part of what we do.
Well, they'll look at it.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks
And
for being
Walter,
on.
somebody's looking for you. How would they find you?
At waltersullivanlaw.com.
Right. How does your wife find you?
She doesn't try to find me. She actually hopes I disappear.
After the hair comment,
we're going-
she's coming. She's coming to look for
And
you.
we're gonna. That was bad, Walter. We'll try to edit that one out. Listen, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna disappear for a few seconds, but we'll be back with more stories on Radio Entrepreneurs.